Hey YouTube, got a Les Paul in, a Burny. This is a modern one, FG121, FG12. I think this might be a Chinese one or Korean. I don't think it's a Japanese one. There's a couple of bits missing off it, but they weren't on it when I got it. I think this is my pal's guitar. There's a switch tip missing in the truss rod cover. I'm pretty sure that he's probably got them, just never put them on it. It was in just when it had a few high frets, done a wee bit of fretwork on it. Yeah, so if I had to have a Les Paul, I would have a white one. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, this is pretty much all original. Obviously, you get your set neck and your thing. I mean, it doesn't. People complaining about Les Pauls being heavy. I wonder how heavy it actually is. It doesn't feel heavy, but they're quite bulky. Maybe so. Maybe that's part of the weight thing. Is just general bulk. A wee bit neck heavy, but not too bad. Let's see what it actually weighs with my trusty luggage scales, which got me all those guitars back from America. 3.9, 3.8. So I'm always of the opinion that about 3.6 is about average. So 3.8 kilograms, just slightly more than average. I always think that when you're looking at guitars, if it's sort of more than 4, it starts feeling heavy. If it's less than 3, it starts feeling very light. Somewhere in the middle. So just a slightly. So I suppose in that case, not really a genuine Les Paul. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, what do you say about a Les Paul? I see a lot of them kicking about. It looks to be quite a good one. I mean, these, I don't know how these are priced compared to like an Epiphone one, but they're better than Epiphone ones. It's got it's got Wilkinson tuners, or I don't think they're original tuners. I'm saying that because there's slight cracks in the finish where they've been put on. They look a bit new as well, so I think these have been replaced. That might be something to do with its slight neck heaviness. Not bad. I mean, if I do, it kind of wants to sit horizontally. I want it to sit there. It doesn't want to sit there. But you're not exactly holding it up. Also with this, unlike with that double neck thing, you tendency to rest your arm on it to hold it up, and it becomes no problem at all. I'll try and do some clean, even though I never really think humbuckers are for clean, especially not something like a Les Paul, but I mean, plenty of people use them. Playing to the Orange TH30 with a reverb pedal on. Now tells. Bridge, neck. And what you're meant to do with Les Pauls, which I've never really had one, is the 4 volume controls. If you put it in the middle, this was in for having a bit of a buzzy low E string and a wee bit of a and choking out. Obviously I've just put the strings back on it again, so doing extreme bends, I've just... Not that I was perfectly injured before I started. You really got to have the strings bent in properly, stretched in before you do crazy bends. Or even tune it before you start doing a video. That's what I was saying there about to get the wonderful tones, the fact you've got like a neck, you get the 2 volumes, you should be able to, by turning one of them down a bit, you get... there. That's not a bad clean sound. How's that drum going? Again, I've not actually replaced my tuner yet. That's with the tone on full for woman tone. Tone on full. Rat. Sorry, the reason I'm doing those crazy high bends, which are... Maybe I should actually start doing them a bit. I'm quite enjoying it there. That was when the guy handed my pal gave me it. It was like up here. Yeah, it's a bit choking out. He was doing these pretty extreme bends up here, so I'm just making sure it seems to do them quite well. I think I'm going to soften my stance a little bit in the Les Pauls. I like this one. Maybe it's just because it's white. Maybe it's just because I don't know. I don't even know how much one of these costs. I'm pretty sure it's not $2,500 like a Gibson one does. I think maybe that's where my dislike of them comes from, because I just don't think they're worth $2,500. Or really any guitar is. I'm just a cheapo, a cheapskate, I suppose. But it's, as far as Les Pauls go, I like this one. Oh, I should be using the wrong pick. I should be using this one here, actually. This one which actually got off, what's his face? Justin Hawkins. It was thrown into the crowd at a gig I was at down at Vauxhall Caravan Park. So we go for... Probably shouldn't be using that anymore. So I'm going to go for a... Did I just put that other pick there? I'm going to assume that pick was actually used by Justin. It was definitely flung into the crowd. Whether it was one he was actually using or one it was just pulled off his mic stand, I can't say. But again, it comes down to things I like with guitars. I like the colour of this. It is quite that whole thing about for the sustain and all that. It does. When I was playing it, it does kind of have quite a nice. Maybe it's just more the shape of the guitar makes it feel that way. But one of my favourite bits is the fact the neck's white. That the bit you see, so it's like it kind of feels like a bit of a white wonder. But yeah. But I mean, it's assuming that the serial number FG12 means it's 2012, means it's 11 years old. And it's amazing how people can have a guitar like this, which are, I'm going to assume it's under £1,000, but probably not much. And they never sorted the frets. I had to do a wee bit of high frets, kind of round about here. Kind of pretty much all over the place. I just needed a fretwork on it, so it's basically never really set up properly, I think, is probably the answer to that. Although, I'm still not 100% done with my corker. It's not just a case, it depends what the guitar's been doing in the years, because that's a 2019 I think it was built, so it's like 3 years old, but it's been hanging in a shop window in direct sunlight for those 3 years, and I think that's caused things to move a bit. The wood's all bent and stuff like that. It's still settling in, so you wonder, maybe something similar could have happened to this. You just don't know how these things have been looked after, you know. It's like having it hanging over a radiator for years maybe causes the wood to expand a little bit and the frets to maybe pop out slightly and move about just a wee bit. I can't imagine how many times, see, like if you're a pro guitarist, like I don't know, like Steve Vai or something like that, I'd imagine his tech is probably refretting and doing his fret job before every tour. You know, I don't know how many for touring guitars and recording, maybe not for ones hanging on the wall, but that actually sounds really good, just unplugged. It's got a nice weight to it. I wouldn't have said it's like, you know, you get, there's a resonant thing you get sometimes with a guitar where you can actually feel it vibrating through the body. I wouldn't have said so particularly in this. Well, yeah, maybe it is a bit. I can kind of feel it on my belly. yeah, no, I like this guitar for being a Les Paul. It's not one I would probably choose. I haven't owned a Les Paul for ages, and I've had a few. I've got quite a few passed through my hands. So I'm setting them up, but I've never actually bought one. I've had a couple, like in, when I say I've never bought one, I've never bought one for myself. I've bought a few, ones that needed work done that I've done up and sold, but I've never had one that I've actually gone, that's my Les Paul. Which I suppose I should probably have one. I don't need any more guitars. I don't need any more guitars. Please stop stop making me have more guitars. No, it's good. So there you go, just a quick video today. I was doing my live stream last night, and I only had half a bottle of Bucky. So I think that might be the way to go. I think maybe, well, I did stop at 10 o'clock, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a half bottle of Bucky and a can of cider. That means I could drink my half bottle of Bucky, get moderately sloshed, and then just sip on a can of cider for an hour, and that'll keep me... It'll keep me topped up without getting too much. Because I think a bottle of Bucky's just too much. I always end up just pure mangled by the time at the end of it, which is great if that's what you're up for. But not if you're just sitting yourself, or talking to the camera. Yeah. So again, I keep trying to end this and saying, I like this guitar. Not really in the mood for a bit of a jam this morning for some reason. Sometimes I am, sometimes I've not. Doesn't have a lot of generally, because I'm mad into switches and stuff like that, I tend to spend more time, this is it with coil splits, and this is it with this and this and this. This has only got 3 pickups, and I've got 2, so it's like 3 sounds. So I've been using them. Yeah. So there you go. What about that for a disappointing video? Why am I not feeling it today? Kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah. I think maybe it's just that it's my prejudices against Les Pauls. Okay, the bad side, I don't find Les Pauls particularly interesting because there's lots of them kicking about and everyone got them. So maybe it's my prejudice against it. But I mean, it's totally a solid guitar. It's very good and technically love it. Oh, and I think I've managed to convince Jen not to paint that Ibanez for anyone who was worried about it. I'm going to pick it up on Wednesday and I'll make it play somehow, some way of not making it without damaging anything, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't have all the tuners, so I might modify other tuners, use the tuners that are there, or get ones that, so I don't want to drill any extra holes into it or anything like that. And there's a bit of the bridge missing, which I actually angle grinded a tunematic bridge so it fits on the existing bridge bit, even though the whole bridge isn't there. But if I put a tunematic on it without actually damaging what's there, it's kind of a sympathetic restoration type thing, as opposed to being a proper restoration. Because if you start hunting for, a bridge for a 1962 Ibanez, why would somebody have one? And if somebody does have one, it's going to be hundreds of pounds, so sod that. But I do want to make it work, see what it sounds like. So Chrissy, your guitar's ready. I need to come and drop it off during the week. Rock on!